Steven Gerrard is on the brink of becoming the new Rangers manager and could be appointed by the end of the week. The 37-year-old is eager to move back into senior football, having spent the last 12 months in charge of Liverpool's under-18s, and the idea of starting his management career at a club of such stature appeals to him. Rangers first contacted Gerrard and his advisors 10 days ago, but they are desperate to confirm interim manager Graham Morty's successor now that the final Old Firm derby of the season, in which they were totally humiliated 5-0 by Celtic, is out of the way. There were talks last week, but Gerrard wanted to focus on Liverpool's final under-18 match of the season. They lost 2-0 to Manchester City on Saturday, before concentrating on his next career move. He has been linked to other jobs, notably with Championship club Ipswich, but none has appealed to him in the way that Rangers does. Gerrard will have his eyes open, though, about the size of the task ahead. Celtic are on another level to Rangers at present, with the Champions League income rolling in, and Gerrard will need final assurances from Chairman Dave King that he will be given the opportunity to make his mark at a club where expectation and reality are miles apart. If Gerrard does accept Rangers' offer, it is expected he will bring a backroom team with him to Glasgow that consists of Gary McAllister, currently a Liverpool ambassador, along with his under-18 assistant Tommy Culshaw and fitness coach Jordan Milsom. While the former England captain has received encouragement to take the chance, others believe he would be making a big mistake going to a club who have spent a decade making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Writing in the Sunday Times, Graham Souness, who spent 5 years as manager at Ibrox, argued Gerrard would be brave to think about going there and explained the heat he would find himself subjected to from day one. People in England don't understand the raw passion that exists for these two big clubs in Glasgow. It is definitely the biggest derby of the lot. It would be a brave move by Steven if he takes it. You have to be number one to escape criticism in Scotland. If you are second, you're nowhere. Goalkeeper Fotheringham failed to make the grade at Fulham and Crystal Palace before Paolo Di Canio gave him a chance at Swindon. Bust up with Di Canio saw him subbed after 21 minutes in one game, with the Italian later calling him one of the worst players I have ever seen. Jack Hannock, Sunday's Old Firm debutant, played 6 Premier League games for Newcastle after coming through their academy, but slipped down the pecking order. Released in 2015, he joined Rangers from Port Vale to give Fotheringham competition. Defenders James Tavernier failed to establish himself at Newcastle before joining Wigan in 2014. Lasted 6 months there, before being loaned to Bristol City, then moving to Ibrox. Declan John fell out of favour at Cardiff after their relegation to the Championship. Now injured, he was given a torrid time by James Forrest in Celtic's 4-0 Scottish Cup semi-final win earlier this month. Fabio Cardozo cost £1.3 million from Portugal's Vitória Setúbal last summer, but has failed to convince. Last seen being bullied in a 3-2 defeat by Celtic last month and could well head for the exit. Ross McCrory, Scotland under-21, has potential at centre-back but suffered in the last 2 Old Firm games. Needs to add more physical power to have a chance of making it. Bruno Alves, hard has never looked in it since being signed by Portuguese compatriot Pedro Caixinha. The veteran centre-back is one of the top earners at Ibrox and looks likely to leave this summer. Midfielder Graham Dorran's big things were expected when the boyhood Rangers fan joined for £1.3 million deal from Norwich. Hampered by injury, but has looked off the pace. At 30, his once promising career is in danger of petering out. Ryan Jack, former Aberdeen captain, racks up the cards, but his bite has been missed since a knee injury ended his season in December. Still managed to be sent off 4 times before then. Jason Holt, signed on a free in 2015. Holt has plenty of energy but doubts persist about his quality. Low point came in the Europa League when he was shown up by Luxembourg Minos Progranidacorn. Carlos Pena, the Mexican, has been a monumental waste of a £2.5 million fee, not to mention his wages. Still has 2 years on his contract and has just had a loan spell with Cruz Azul terminated, for allegedly urinating in a fountain. Greg Docherty, the 21-year-old, says he wants to learn his trade from a legend like Steven Gerrard, but has failed to make the step up since a £650,000 move from Hamilton in January. Andy Halliday, Graham Morty brought him back from a loan in Azerbaijan, but this die-hard Rangers fan has only suffered. Substituted after 41 minutes of the Scottish Cup semi-final defeat and Celtic fans mockingly chanted "There's only one Andy Halliday" when he stepped off the team bus on Sunday. Jordan Rossiter, once tipped as a successor to Gerrard, the former Liverpool academy player has been hit by injuries since joining in 2016. Last played a first-team match 8 months ago, but was on the bench at Parkhead on Sunday. Daniel Candeias failed to make it in the first team at Porto before joining Benfica, where he did not play once in a 3-year spell. but the 30-year-old winger has arguably been Rangers' best player this season and has consistently supplied assists. Jamie Murphy struggled to step up to the Premier League when Brighton were promoted. Moved to Rangers on loan and has shown a few glimpses of his quality, but goal tally needs to improve. Scott Arfield will be at Ibrox next season after joining from Burnley on 4-year contract. Brings Premier League experience to area where Rangers were utterly overrun by Celtic. Forwards Josh Windass, son of Dean Windass, combined a semi-pro career at Harrogate Railway Athletic with a job as a labourer. Although he has contributed 17 goals this season, he has struggled for consistency. Alfredo Morelos, Rangers could have banked more than £7 million for the Colombian in January after offers from China. They opted to keep him, but the striker has managed only 3 league goals since then. Eduardo Herrera, another expensive error from Caixinha's reign. The 29-year-old did not look mobile in his appearances, which brought 2 goals, and hasn't been seen since February. Looks likely to head back to his native Mexico.